Hello, Option on Your Move Madman, and I'm back. Today I've got Ari Aster's brand new film that was released last year, I think, to show you. Yeah, released last year, going to show you today. We're here to talk about Eddington on Blu-ray. Not 4K this one, just the Blu-ray. So here is Eddington for you here. There's a nice front cover for you there, and a nice back cover for you there. So you could get this in 4K, but it had to be imported and it had to be taken off of the A24 website, and they're quite expensive. So I was a bit like, I'm just going to get it in So I was like, I'm just going to get it on Blu-ray for now, and then when I win the lottery, then I can get it in 4K, but we'll get around to that when I have loads of money, which is not going to be anytime soon. So let's take the plastic off. Let's do that. Bloody hell, it's actually really hard to get that off. That's what she said. Let's have a look at the inside, eh? Cool, what a massive surprise. There's a Blu-ray disc in there and no artwork. Classic A24 and Universal Blu-rays. Bit like it not having a slip cover either, but we won't go there. So I have seen this film already, obviously not this version of it. I had it in 4K on Google Play, so I was able to watch it in 4K on Google Play. So I'm going to have a look at this and compare it to that, and then I'll come back and tell you a little bit more, and it will be very exciting for everyone. So stay there and I'll be right back. So here we go then, time for Eddington. So this is the latest film from Ari Aster, the man who made Hereditary and Midsummer and Beau is Afraid. This is back with Joaquin Phoenix in the starring role, and Pedro Pascal is in there as the supporting cast, but they are two very strong actors in a very strong film. So there's that. And now this is a film that is basically a story based on and around the time that COVID was a very important thing in the world. It's very well made. It doesn't take the piss out of COVID, if that helps, but it is also still, I'd say it was a 50% comedy, just about. It kind of reminded you a little bit of the pandemic special from South Park, but without, being too much of a piss take. It's more the people's reactions in the film and how people deal with certain things to do with COVID in the film that is what makes it funny. But it's not like taking the piss out of the disease or the situation or anything like that. So you don't have that to worry about. This film literally goes from one extreme to the other, especially when you get to the last half hour and everything just goes a little bit mental. I'm pretty sure people that were living in small towns that were affected by COVID probably wouldn't have reacted in the way that they do in this film, but that doesn't matter. It's just a film, isn't it? It's just a story. It's just made up. It's not based on a true story or anything like that, so you haven't got that to worry about. Now, I could have got this in 4K, and I will get it in 4K at some point, but for now I just wanted to own it. I just wanted to be able to show it off and show people that this film exists, just because it didn't do very well when it came out in the cinema. It wasn't very popular very much for a very long time. It literally stayed in the cinema for a couple of weeks. I didn't even get to see this in the cinema because I didn't have enough time, because it was there and then it was gone. But I really enjoyed this. It's very long. It's about 2.5 hours, but you don't really seem to feel the running time of it, which I'd say was a good thing. If you've got a really long film that buzzes by, I'd say that was a positive thing about your movie. 1080p though, it's a good looking 1080p Blu-ray. You can only get it in Blu-ray in the UK. If you can get it in 4K. You just have to either get it from the A24 website, or you have to let someone rip you off on eBay. I would like to get it in 4K at some point, but I didn't have loads of money when it came to getting this, and it's not very cheap getting 4K films from A24. I've done it twice now, I think. Both times it wasn't the cheapest. I got Marcel the that's the worst. I got Marcel the shell with shoes on from the A24 website. I also got the director's cut of Midsummer in 4K from the A24 website as well. So, and they were both not very cheap outings to A24. So I know that this wouldn't be either. But that being said, I would like to dig down that road at some point and get it. So maybe one day when I win the lottery, I can get it in 4K. Of course, first I have to start playing the lottery. Yeah, like I said, it's a good looking picture. It's a good sounding film. There's a lot of strong actors in here, which is good. Helps support a very strong story, a very stupid story, but it's good fun. It's good fun to watch. It's very entertaining. It doesn't drag too much. The sheriff versus sheriff thing was actually pretty funny as well. It was just pretty good all round. I'd definitely say it was worth seeing. So get on it. And that's enough about Eddington today. I love a bit of Ari Aster, so I knew I was going to enjoy that film anyway. But that's it from me for today. There's a link for my books in the description, so if you could get on them, click on my books, buy them, have a little look, let me know what you think. That'd be great. But I'm going to go now, so if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'm going to fuck off. Okay, goodbye.